She's just waiting for the
Here we
green
go.
light. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you all please join me in standing to recite the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adjustments in the agenda. I'd like to make a motion to approve adjustments to the agenda by adding or moving the following items. Special recognition, I'd like to move to D1 right before approval of the minutes. And then consideration and approval of bus financing to I2 and renumber the remaining items under I. Can I have
I'll second that.
no, that wasn't a motion. Oh, I did make a motion, yes. Thank you. All right,
It's August.
yes. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay.
All right.
Approval of minutes. Do you have a motion? Oh, no.
I'll recommend a motion to approve the minutes of the July 8th, 2025 school board meeting as presented.
Whoops, we were supposed to do special recognition first.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Let's do special recognition.
I take it back. Take it back.
So,
All right. So tonight,
Yeah.
we're very excited. We'll introduce Josh Frost first for our special recognition this evening.
I'm not getting the recognition. But obviously tonight in the audience, we have a very special team. Our baseball team are Northern Maine champions for 2025. They had an incredible run through the regular season, battling weather elements. It's crazy to think how dry it is right now and how rainy of a spring we did have. And with baseball always comes the element of pitching and trying to use your pitchers and whatnot. And then on to the playoffs, where, you know, even in the Northern Maine game, they were down by 5 runs and battled back to win that game 8-5. So I'd like to have Coach Curtis and his assistant, one of his assistants, Mike Cloud, come up. And then they'll just kind of talk a little bit about the season, just 1 or 2 minutes, not long. And you too, Mike, no, don't be long.
Cloud would love to talk about.
And then players will come up and please introduce yourself, what grade you're going into, okay? If you've graduated, tell us what your plans are coming up in a few weeks. So,
And line up here.
Yes, so then we get a
yeah,
picture.
and you can take as much time as you want.
Well, but first I'd like to say every season is unique. We have had a lot of good fortune, and I would like to say to the seniors that have just graduated, they have been a part of a state championship, and they have played in at least a regional final every season that they've been a part of the baseball team. So that's very impressive, and kudos to you guys. As far as challenges for the season, probably 2 weeks into the season, guys, we were discussing whether we were going to make the playoffs. So this team truly figured it out and got hot at the right time. We came up a little short in a big game, but in perspective, it was probably the biggest overachievement that I've coached, and I'm very proud of you guys. I really am. What we do every year, we have one goal, which is to win the first game. That's the only goal we set every year, and then we just let the season take its course. And I really believe that these boys, I mean, we've had so many great players in the past. We have a great Little League system in town. We have a great everything all the way through, that this is the end result. So, would you guys come on up?
Don't all run for the microphone. Thank you, Hollis.
Am I supposed to send my position too? Sure. Hello, my name's Hollis Grindle. I was the captain on this team. I'm a senior. I'm going to go to Hudson University next year and play baseball and study sports management and business. And for the most of the year, I played right field and DH.
Hi, my name is Luke Horn.
Alice, you want to stay up front here so just with your back to the table, and then we'll get a picture of everyone.
I caught and I just graduated and I'm going to EMCC for electrical technology.
Hi, my name's Evan Haskell, and I'm going to be a sophomore this coming school year, and I played shortstop and second base this year.
Hi, I'm Coleman Welch. I'm going in my sophomore year, and I played third base and second base.
Hi, my name is Braden Sekledge. I'm going into my junior year, and I play second base.
Hi, my name's Morgan Blair. I'm going to UMaine for business administration, and I was known as bench captain this year.
Hi, my name is Dawson Curtis, and I pitched and played first base, and I'm going into my senior year of high school.
And we can line up in front of the council table.
can cover
here.
us,
So
it's
come
fine.
around, yeah.
Hi, my name's Thomas Jude. I'm going to be attending Husson University, and I was DH this year.
Hi, my name's Joey Beal. I'm going into my junior year, and I play outfield.
My name's Porter Merrill. I'm going into my junior year as well, and I also play outfield.
My name's Caleb Jordan. I'm going into my senior year, and I'm going to be a catcher.
My name's Hunter Bowles. I played left field, and I graduated. I'm going to UMO to study sports management.
Nice.
So also in the audience, we have Brad Smith, who's our JV coach and also assistant with the varsity, and Nick Kane, who was a volunteer with our JV and varsity programs. Not here tonight, we have, help me boys, Kyle Kenny, who just graduated, Braden King, who also just graduated, Daniel Lindsay, who just graduated, Zach Torrey, who will be a sophomore, Jackson Berry, who will be a senior, and that's it? Okay, no other players though, is everybody? Okay. And then, yes, also here in the audience tonight, Michael Bowles, who was one of our volunteer assistants for the varsity program, along with Sean Berry, who volunteered. And I just appreciate the volunteers sticking around, helping us out. Obviously, they're giving up their time, not getting paid, and just helping to develop our players. And also, you notice tonight that they are wearing their new jackets they just received tonight. So thank you to our Sports Boosters Club that, as you know, raises money throughout the year with concessions. And this is one of the things they do to give back to the different sports teams that win championships. So I think they look pretty handsome in those jackets tonight. So thank you for having us here tonight. Dan, you want anything else?
Just something quick. Important to know, this takes a village. And one thing I'm very proud about with the program is these boys, year after year, they're just waiting for their turn. I think we're in a good place, and I truly look forward to next season, as I hope you do. Thank you, guys.
Squish in.
Don't make me come over there and organize you.
Squish in, squish in. They all fit?
Barely.
Well done, guys.
Congratulations, boys.
They're like, are we out of here?
Bye,
Bye,
boys.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
See you.
Thank you.
He's like bright red.
Thank you. See you. See you
You
later.
sure you don't want to stay, Ben?
You should.
All right.
Well, that's fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Now approval of minutes.
Now approval of minutes.
Oh, I will make a motion. Motion to approve the minutes of the July 8th, 2025 school board meeting as presented.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? All right, communications and correspondence.
Okay, communications and correspondence. I do have several resignations that have come in over the last month. Carolyn Sproul, grade 7 math at EEMS. Alyssa Coyne, ed tech at EEMS. Chris Parsons, custodian. Craig Ridley, maintenance and grounds. Amber Elliott, ed tech, and Hannah St. Peter, ed tech.
Thank you. Next, we have administrative reports.
So I will start by saying Nikki Chan is home sick this evening, so a couple of her updates I will talk about also because I think they're important for the public and the community to know. First, as many people have probably seen in the news, Title II and Title IV funds were released. And so now school departments are waiting to get further clarifications of applying to receive those funds. So we will have our ESEA funding moving forward. So that's very good news for everyone. I'm really proud of the professional development we offered this summer. We had over 100 educators at the end of the day participate in some sort of professional development this summer. Today was exciting at Avery Lane. We had 2 different PD trainings going on. Administrative assistants have done a 2-day boot camp for the last 2 days, and they were so positive and excited to receive some PD and training. That's a group that hasn't necessarily had that, so they felt really empowered to have that. And then I was really proud of our new special ed director, Lisa Backman, who organized this spring a preventing burnout for special education case managers training. And we had 20 or over 20 case managers come today to Avery Lane to participate in that training. And they were engaged and loved it. So that was wonderful to see. And that's just 2 examples of what we've had going on this summer. So I'm really proud of that. And that's thanks to the behind-the-scenes work of Nikki and what she does for professional development. Another part of our professional development this summer was our leadership team retreat, where our theme was the Ellsworth Way, live it, lead it, define it. And our school board, we're very thankful that you were able to participate in a section of that with us, and really focused our work in on Brené Brown's work, Dare to Lead, Claire is Kind, and really starting to talk about the 25-26 school year and what that will look like for the Ellsworth School Department. So very appreciative of your work in that. I did want to provide an update to the public about the second round of our collaboration with EMC and the wide variety of projects that are happening for our facilities as we work to continue upgrading them. So first, at the high school, all windows have now been replaced. That project is done. So Ellsworth High School now has all new, really nice, safe windows, which is a wonderful accomplishment in my opinion. All shingles have been removed, and skylight work is continuing as we replace the roof over the skylight in the gym to prevent further leakage. So that's going to be really nice when that's done. We are working on the lobby bathrooms. Scale drawings have been done. This is Bev's labor of love. So that is being worked on and will be completed by the start of school. Port Lighting is reviewing inventory and has been meeting with our technical director, Chris Duff, regarding the new lighting in the auditorium. So that now we'll have very specific energy efficient lights that are specifically for productions in the auditorium to match the rest of the lighting project that we did in TELP 1 through that project prior. At HCTC, not only do we have the second round of TELP, but we also have our revolving renovation project continuing, which is a massive undertaking for us to take a building of that age and install all new fire alarms, sprinkler system, and a brand new elevator. So those 3 things are continuing to be worked on with the goal, knock on wood, this has been a lot more complicated than we thought, but with the goal, hopefully, that it's done and complete by the opening of school. But that is going to be a major, major accomplishment to have that building have those upgrades. EEMS, we are working on the replacement of the geothermal heat pump that had failed. That was also a part of this project, so that is ongoing. And we have begun work on the track. So the lights at the track, equipment has been shipped and is en route. We have been working the last couple of weeks with the game warden because of the osprey nest. We have a citizen who's very concerned about an osprey nest that's living at the top of one of our lights. So our project manager from EMC has been meeting with the game warden to talk about how we will safely do that and not alter them as much as possible. So that's going to be exciting to have new energy efficient lights at the track. District-wide, we are working on our building automation system integration throughout the district, and that's an ongoing project as well, which will get us all on the same system, which will also be a huge relief. So I'm really proud of that work. I think the board's done a really good job partnering with EMC, and EMC's been a great partner for us. And I really think that after this second round of the TELP, we're going to be in most places in really good shape in terms of our physical plant upgrades. And so the next layer will be the track, continuing improvements at HCTC and our fields for our athletics. That'll be the next layer for us as a facilities committee to look at. Strategic plan for the public. At our last July meeting, we did adopt the mission, vision, and core values. Leadership team and the board worked hard this summer to establish action steps. We are in process of putting together the final packaged that will go live to the public by the start of school. So that's something that we're really excited about. One of the biggest things I want to talk to the public tonight is the major capital school construction program rating cycle that was released by the state. As people know, we've tried for the last several cycles to apply for new construction funds for Hancock County Technical Center. On July 14th, we received our evaluation report. And to give people details of this, 95 schools applied this time for this rating cycle. And we were given a ranking of the 95 of 17 with a total of 106.43 points. In 2017, 2018, we were ranked 18 out of a little over 70, and we had 102 points at the last cycle, so we only moved up a little bit. Important to note to the public is number 1 and 2 on the list both had fires, and those communities were forced to relocate and do a variety of things to make things work for their students. And in meeting with the committee who did the rating cycle and talking specifically about those two schools did appeal to the State Board of Education when the fires happened, asking for funds, because insurance does not cover the cost of building a brand new school from scratch. It just doesn't. And the State Board of Education did not give them funds at that time, and so they had to apply. So they are 1 and 2 of the cycle. In addition, I think it's important to note for the public that 9 projects ranked ahead of us did not apply in 2017, 2018. So a couple of things could be at play for that. One, leadership at that time may have decided not to apply. Maybe things weren't as dire as they are now, several years later. Could also be that an emergency has happened and they've been forced to close sections of the school. There's no real way of knowing that. But I do think it's important to note that 9 people are ahead of us that did not apply in the last cycle. And we were the number 1 ranked career and technical school in the 95. We were the number 1 for that. All schools were given an opportunity to meet with the committee. The state sent out very specific dates and times. I did go to Augusta and met with the committee to ask clarifying questions about why we got certain rankings that we got and certain points being allocated. I fought very vehemently with the committee that career and technical schools do not necessarily fit into the round peg that they have for other schools. They are dramatically different. And that while I appreciate the committee's work in some parts of the application to allocate points for CTE, I didn't feel like the entire thing was taken into account for a CTE school. So we did talk about that quite a bit. I also talked about the hold harmless clause, because I said, I have to be honest, it really feels like we were punished for continuing to make upgrades to our school when we were told you're held harmless. And I said, to hear that schools got more points because they've closed wings, or they've added portables, or they've shut sections of the school down, they got more points than we did. Well, okay, if we weren't and hadn't done some of the things we've done to keep our school safe over the years, would we have gotten more points? So there was a healthy debate about that, going back and forth. They did listen. I felt they listened to me. So
And
I
just
felt.
to elaborate a little bit, before we made those improvements over the last few years, you talked to
Mhm.
this department in Augusta and said, if we do this, is this gonna hurt our chances when we apply for the revolving
Yes.
construction funds? And you were told, no, you'll be held that's what held harmless means. You will be-
Correct.
You won't be penalized for that.
Correct.
So go ahead and make those improvements, and you feel like that really wasn't the case.
They did give me specific examples of places where we made improvements and our score went up. The higher the score, the better
Yeah.
you are in the rankings. And they said that we got the bump because we made the improvement. And as I left, they continued to say, your board is doing the right thing. You are doing the right thing. Continue keeping that building safe. Continue moving forward. But it's still,
Yeah.
it kind of felt like it was both ways,
Mhm.
right? That's
Yeah.
how it felt. But they claimed, and they did show evidence in certain point indicators of the rubric where our score did go up in areas where we did make improvements. And seemingly, if hold harmless wasn't in place, they would have gone backwards, is basically what they were saying.
Thank you.
At the end, we were only given like a 30 to 60 minute time frame. It was cut off. So now what happens is I've put together, based on my information from them, you can file an appeal to the commissioner. The commissioner appoints a committee to review that appeal. I have to provide very specific evidence. I can't provide any new information than what was in the original application, but it is my opportunity to argue with our rankings in certain areas and hope that we get more points, because for us, even 5 points would bump us closer. Now, does that often happen? No, I don't think it does. But I think on behalf of us, I think we need to do that, and that will be filed this week. Oak Point, Tyler Barter, who's worked with us on HCTC from the beginning, has assisted me in some of the language, and kind of he and I have gone back and forth with drafts, and we will be submitting that tomorrow. Yes.
So question on like gaining points perhaps and like bumping us up, do we hold that ranking for like the next round? Like if we suddenly get moved from 17 to 10,
Yep.
like do we stay 10 and then you start at 10 the next round and perhaps you get moved up, or how does that work?
Okay, so this is the rubric scoring ranking. So it's not the approved construction list, which is something they were very specific about explaining. So what happens is this list is released. Nobody knows how much money there is or how many projects will get funded. The next thing that is going to happen is going to be two things. One, there is a commission looking at how funding works for school construction, because there's not enough money for all of us to keep doing this. You can't wait 8 to 10 years every time a new list comes out and hope that you're in the top 3. We're never going to get ahead in the state of Maine if we continue that. So the commission is going to come out, I think, sometime soon with their recommendations of what they think should change for funding school construction projects. So there's that happening. In the meantime, at some point, an amount of money is going to get allocated, and then that will determine who goes onto a construction list. And so they'll say there's this X number of dollars, we think that will fund 4 schools. And then those top 4 go on the construction list. If any of them decide for some reason, well, we're not gonna do that, or now because this commission made this recommendation, the rules are changing, let's say, and it's not 100% state funded, maybe it's split. If that happens, some communities may not choose to do that. And so schools will come off the list in that order. But basically what happens is if the top 4 get funded, everybody moves up, but then you're waiting for another allocation of funds, and then the next ones get funded. And then until another priority list comes out, you're there. So we're sitting and waiting, basically, again.
Amy, do you know what what the other schools scored? Like, what is the range? Are they really close?
Yes and no. The top 2 are way,
Yeah.
I mean, completely different.
'Cause I recall
5 points will bump us up a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would, if we could encapsulate 5 to 10 points, and that would be unheard of, we would bump, yeah. But will it get us, I don't know what they're gonna allocate for money. And when Portland High School is ahead of you, that's gonna be a massive
lot of money.
project, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But in saying that, like, insurance doesn't cover the cost of a new school, do they only get what the end doesn't cover?
That has been
Because,
talked
I mean, shouldn't
about.
insurance cover
Some of it, yes.
your existing?
My understanding is that both communities have said whatever their insurance, that would go first. So they may not take as much of the funding as one might think. We just don't know yet.
I mean, it just seems like only fair. You have insurance for a reason that covers
Right. Yes.
this because this is what happened. I mean, isn't that why you have it?
Yes.
And then yes, this is extra money that's like out there. So I mean, but I would think to some point though, I mean, you can't be extravagant in like your wish list of like, oh well, now we have the ability
Yeah,
to get
no.
this extra money that.
They only give you so much, there's a tight formula for
Yeah.
school construction that you have to follow.
It just seems interesting.
It is.
Just throwing that out there.
And the appeal process is a lot. I mean,
sure.
they have 60 days to respond to my appeal. They have 60 days, so whenever your school department signed for receipt of the ranking, that's when your ticker clock starts for the appeal. So if an office didn't get theirs until the end of July, they have 30 days to submit, and then there's a 60-day wait. So we're not gonna really know where we land as a final list until probably this winter, to be honest with you. And then in the meantime, they'll start coming out with what the priorities are, what the money is, and how that all works. Also interesting to go along with this is they have also put out their other round of applications for the integrated school application. So I did take the time to talk to them about that, because that is a little intriguing to me. That is the creation of an integrated campus high school where it would be Hancock County Technical Center integrated with Ellsworth High School, EMCC possibly, post-secondary, maybe early learning, adult ed. It's like a whole consolidation system. The question that was asked though is that in the language, it says consolidation of 2 high schools. And so I said, in a geographically diverse region like Hancock County, there is no one for us to consolidate with. You're not gonna ask communities to bus their children. You just built a new Sumner High School. MDI is too far away. All of our communities are too far away to think that a school is gonna partner with us. And I said, we already have the blueprint. We did all that work when we did the feasibility study. We have an integrated proposal. We just don't have a second high school. Can we still apply?
Yeah.
What the answer was I think you do part 1 of the application and see what happens. And see if people are like, no, this is actually makes sense. Go for it. But the language is 2 high schools. So you also could get told, sorry, but sorry, it's not happening.
But considering we paid also for a feasibility
Yes.
study,
Yeah.
I mean, hello, to do this.
We
like,
have
that
all
should count as
the
something.
stuff.
We've done our due diligence on
Yes.
trying to get to this stage of getting this school, which is what, 50 years old?
Yeah.
Rebuilt. I mean, 'tis time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep working on it. They did recommend we talk to our local legislators. So I would urge the board, if you have time, to please contact local legislators and talk to them about this, talk to them about the integrated application process, talk to them about CTE being a little bit different. With such a dire need for workforce development in the state of Maine, I would think that we should, as a state, be trying to figure out how we're going to help a school that provides workforce development training and post-secondary opportunities for kids. So we'll continue pounding the pavement in hopes that we can, get this home at some point, but it was discouraging, to say the least. Also you've probably seen on Facebook, as part of our budget process last year, we did put in a bus route for our students that have been not able to access Hancock County Technical Center, and for our students that live in Union 93 but can't get to the high school and want to enroll at the high school. So we've put out very specific times and bus routes to those communities. Superintendent Derek Perkins and I have been working with our transportation department to really try to figure out what's most effective to get those kids here. The complicated part for Hancock County Technical Center is it solves getting the kids to us in the morning, but it doesn't solve us getting them back to GSA at the midday. They were not willing to run transportation for students for an AM and a PM session. So my hope would be that maybe we can meet in the middle somewhere, and maybe they would help students get back to GSA in the middle of the day, and then we can get them in the afternoon home. In the afternoon, we already have buses that go those routes. So that is something that we are exploring. What we've made clear to the families on the peninsula is that we are not going door to door. We're not going to all the towns. We have 2 very specific spots that we will pick kids up at, and they have to be there on time or they miss the bus. I feel like everyone's done a good job collaborating on this and making this happen. And I want to thank our new digital media and communications. I put the handout that's been posted that has gone out to families that he's worked on, so that people, if they have questions, can contact the high school or contact my office. Finally, if you can even believe it, we start with new staff next week. Tuesday is all new staff. Wednesday is new teacher orientation, and then Monday the 25th, we will have our, hopefully, school board breakfast, welcoming all of our staff back on Monday the 25th, and we will have 3 days of professional development for staff, and then we will start K-9 on Thursday, and then 10 to 12 on Friday of that week. A reminder that the first Friday is not an early release day. It is a regular, normal, full day of school so that our high school students can get through their whole schedule. And then we will start our early release Friday in September. Finally, we do still have several open positions. We're actually, knock on wood, we're actually in pretty decent shape considering. We still have a computer science, cybersecurity teacher at Hancock County Technical Center. We are still looking for our 21st Century Grant Learning Coordinator, adult education evening assistant, several ed tech positions, indoor track head coach, an assistant coach, and at Ellsworth Elementary Middle School, we're looking for a second shift custodian, a boys JV soccer coach, a unified basketball coach, and an intramural basketball / pickleball coach at EEMS. That is my report. It was a lot, sorry.
No, that was great. Thank you. I think it was important to hear all that and to give as much time to the revolving renovation school construction process, because that's something that many in the community have been
working on.
Aware about. Well, we have people working on it, but we also have a lot of people who have been paying attention and are were curious to know what was going on. I've been asked actually a couple times by
Yeah.
several people. So, yeah, it's disappointing, but
We'll forge ahead.
we'll forge ahead. Committee reports.
Let's see, curriculum, we haven't met, that'll be September, so nothing there. And then policy, we worked on one that we're doing a second read of tonight, so
Mhm.
that's about all I have.
Personnel has not met. Finance, we haven't.
Not really. Like
Yeah.
we'll talk about some of it, and then facilities. You just
Facilities.
covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. All right. Next is item I, new business, and we did special recognition. So next is consideration of bus financing.
So yes, the Facilities Committee and Finance Committee both reviewed the financing quotes that we received for our new school buses. They reviewed the 3 quotes that our business office got and made a recommendation for Santander bus financing. And they need, as part of their process for financing to approve it, they need official board vote on this.
I'll make a motion to approve the Santander bus financing as presented and recommended by the Facilities and Transportation Committee.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? All right. Next, item 3, acknowledgement of Personnel Committee's action on behalf of the board.
We have been really busy since our July meeting and really excited. We have one of our new hires here this evening. Really excited for our new staff that are coming on. I'm really proud of our school administrators convening teams throughout the summer and really doing their due diligence in doing reference checks and really having good processes to hire good people to join our team this fall. We're really lucky.
So, first, recommended motion, would someone like to read that?
Sure. Recommend a motion to acknowledge the Personnel Committee's action on behalf of the board in confirming the superintendent's nomination of Cassandra Dumont, Behavioral Interventionist Specialist for the 2025-2026 school year.
second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Congratulations.
And
She's here.
Ms. Dumont is
Welcome.
right here, and so.
Yes. And
Well-
we are so thrilled to have her join us. She's going to be wonderful, and she will actually become a certified BCBA soon. Sarah Van Huff, our current BCBA, will be able to mentor her and supervise her. So it's going to be awesome to have a team of 2 work with us, because as you know, that's an area that we're really focusing in on. So we're thrilled to have you.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on board. You're welcome. Next motion, we need a motion to acknowledge the Personnel Committee's action.
I can do it. I make a motion to acknowledge the Personnel Committee's action on behalf of the board in confirming the superintendent's nomination of the following teachers with a first-year probationary contract for the 2025-2026 school year. Andy Finney, 8th grade reading teacher. Wendy's Cruz Ayala, I just butchered that, sorry.
You're
Grade
fine.
4 teacher. Carrie Jameson, 7th grade math teacher. Emily Boyle, health teacher, EEMS.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor? All right.
Welcome, everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Next up is second read of policy.
Okay, I do believe you have a copy in your packet, so if you wanted to double check and follow along as we talked. So what I did for the linked IKF policy is that any changes from first read to second read was put in red, okay? So to talk to the community a little bit about this conversation started at the middle of the school year, actually, internally, talking about policies that needed to be updated, and our graduation policy had not been revisited since 2018. So a committee came together really trying to look at our old policy, which was very old and outdated, but also super complicated for families to read and understand. The major changes to this policy, there are several. The first that we were trying to accomplish was having various pathways for students. So first and foremost, we have a great alternative ed teacher and a group of people that have worked for the last 2 years on the alternative diploma pathway. And that went before the curriculum committee for approval to review. That is an application process, and we felt it very important that that be put into the policy as an approved pathway for juniors and seniors who have experienced really extreme hardships during their time at Ellsworth High School. That was the first thing we tried to accomplish. We then went through each content area and talked about allocation of credits towards an EHS diploma and comparing them to other schools, but also really looking at how do kids acquire these credits from a variety of perspectives. Are there set courses? Are there experiences we allow? And so for the most part, those content areas have all stayed the same. As you know, at the July meeting for first read, we had language in under physical education, which was B7 in your packet, that allowed for, out of a full credit, a half a credit to be waived if a student had done X number of seasons in a sport. That was controversial. It was talked about quite vehemently between the July meeting and the August meeting. Unfortunately, I think some of the information that got out in the public was not accurate. We did not ever intend for sports to completely replace physical education. In fact, the committee greatly values physical education and lifetime fitness. So what we've done from first read to second read is taken that language out with the hopes that there would be a committee of all different sides that would come together and talk about this. Because there are a lot of people that think there should be other opportunities for kids to earn a physical education credit while still learning lifetime fitness through a general PE class. So I think that's something that will be talked about further, but with more representation at the table. But for now, students will continue to take the 2 general phys ed courses as prescribed. You'll also see under visual and performing arts in red, we've cleaned up some of that language to be more in line with our course catalog and what we actually offer. And then C, D, and E. So C, personal finance, D, computer skills. Those are things that we have to provide opportunities for students for, but they are not standalone courses that we offer. So students can take a variety of courses that will look at finance standards put out by the state, but we are not mandating a course in personal finance at this time. We may do that at some point, but right now we'll offer a variety of opportunities, whether it be through JMG, through HCTC courses, or a finance course that our social studies department offers, those standards. Same with computer skills. And then last but not least, the other major change is community service. And I want to talk about that a little bit. So this new language takes out the 40-hour requirement to graduate from Ellsworth High School. But because everyone feels very strongly that all students should have access to community service opportunities, we've put in the language that says students will have multiple opportunities to participate in community service activities and service learning activities each year. So to talk to the community a little bit about this, everyone feels very strongly that there is great value in giving back to the community in which you live and attend school. We currently mandate 40 hours. And what we have found over the last couple of years, if people have tuned in to some of our data presentations, our homeless population and our economically disadvantaged population has skyrocketed. And what we have found is that there is a correlation between students come their senior year who are not able to acquire the 40 hours with this. And what it has created is a have-not situation that none of us feel very comfortable with. We do not want students not receiving an Ellsworth High School diploma because of missing community service hours. And the way the language is in the previous policy, they can and they have. So for this, what we would like to propose is, in collaboration with the policy committee, is we would really like to look at putting together a committee of people that would look at how could we do this in an organized manner to really show the community that we're providing community service opportunities in a variety of ways across the span of all 4 years. Whether it's your freshman year, you do this project, sophomore year, you do this project, and you do it as a class. Are there certain classes, and I know there already are, but are there classes that embed service learning as part of their curriculum? It's a huge part of instruction nowadays, making learning relevant in your classroom to giving back to your community at the same time. Having community service opportunities for our kids is something that we feel very strongly about. That's why we've kept it in the proposed language for this policy, but we simply do not want to make the 40 hours and tracking of that for kids a requirement to march across the stage. That is the difference for this. So that language is in there. And like I said, I think everybody feels very strongly that a committee should come together to really look at how this would look. We also are going to have continued opportunities for co-curricular to give back to the communities that help us do things for our students. We think that's really important. Things that we've sent kids to, including the library, things that we've done in town, downtown with the crosswalks. We're going to continue to have Ellsworth High School students embedded in our community. It just will not be a graduation requirement for students. Finally, the other major change is that we went from 24 credits to 23 credits. So we did go from we dropped 1 credit. In the first read policy, we had delineated graduation years that would still do 24 and some would do 23. And then we decided we were comfortable with, because it's a drop and not an add, that we would make it 23 for everyone. Because keeping it at 24 in a 7-period schedule means students typically take 6. It means there's no room for error for kids keeping it at 24, which was why we went from 24 to 23. So the only other red that I think that was on here was a typo on the 4th page. And then we did change, in order to be eligible for the honor parts, we had originally said you had to be at Ellsworth High School for 2 years, and that from first read is the same for 1 year, but I didn't know if that had been pointed out in July. And then finally, crossed out under cross-reference, those are not updated, so those are crossed out because they really should not have been there in the previous policy anyway. So again, to kind of back up a little bit, part of why we did this the way we did this in doing policy IKF in July, we put it out in draft form hoping to garner feedback, and I will say I'm really pleased with the amount of feedback we've gotten from staff and from citizens about all the different parts and pieces. I feel like the committee had a good conversation about all the different feedbacks, and then put this second read in place. And the purpose of having this passed tonight would be so that this could be in the handbooks for the start of school to be enacted for this incoming freshman class.
Right.
So I'm happy to answer questions or.
Concern?
Yeah.
On the community service requirements, or lack thereof. So we're gonna potentially offer opportunities for students to give back to the community and whatnot. This is big to me. This is sort of why
Yes,
I'm
this
bringing
is your
this up.
thing. It's okay.
But we're gonna form a committee.
Yep.
How long might that take? So then therefore, have we already missed time that some of these students, just for them to do more
No.
and give more? Because committees
We're not-
often.
Yeah, we're
You know
not
how that
gonna
takes.
not do community service while the committee is working. What the committee would do is really talk about what is the Ellsworth High School way? What is that going to look like, and what are the types of things we're going to cohesively do for a well-rounded opportunity for students? But in the meantime, kids are still going to come opening day and volunteer to mentor those freshmen. Like, we're still going to offer the things we've always offered. We're not going to ask Paul to get pre-approval to go help his next door neighbor and get that signed off on and turn it back in.
And I agree with that. I think that sometimes on the pre-approval, because you're not going to get every teacher on like the same page of what they feel was like the appropriate community
Yes.
service, which is a little unfortunate that there is like such a gray area, because I feel like if a child comes and says, hey, you know what I did? Great. You know what I mean? Like, granted, I know that can be fudged a little, like, I get it. Like, that happens too. They are kids. But yet, I feel like sometimes, and it's like I said before, if we do not push them to go out of their comfort zone a little to reach some form of requirement that has been set for them, they don't. Do you know what I mean? Because it's uncomfortable for all of us. This is uncomfortable for me right now, but I'm taking a chance and, like, I'm saying this. Like, if people don't step outside of their box for a minute, you never do. You stay within inside it. And you never know who you're going to run into in a community when you have stepped outside to be like, ooh, I'll step up and go do that. You never know. You really never know. And I understand that there are great needs amongst our children. Like, I have definitely set in on like so many things, and that hurts my heart for sure. None of us want to see that.
Right.
But you also never know who in that community goes, you know what? I see potential in Sally. Like, she's kind of taken under my wing a little bit, and I'm really going to help Sally. Like, you just don't know where these community service opportunities open doors for possibly less fortunate, people, which all of us want to help, like, to some degree, and especially younger people. Like, we all want to see them succeed, in their future. So, like, that's just kind of my concern, that if we, as a school, are going to say that we're going to put our kids out there, will the teachers really make time for it? Can we make this work? Is it going to be a busing issue? Is it going to be a time issue? Is it going to conflict with something else? Like, I just do have a little concern on that. I'm not saying that it can't work, and I'm not saying that it's not like a good idea to do it as a group, because then that also is less uncomfortable if all of my friends are going to be doing it with me. I totally agree with that too. I just am concerned that we really will make the opportunities. I would like to think that we are. Like, just to make the opportunities for the kids to do it as a learning experience.
I think what you're going to find, and the committee talked about this a lot, I think it's going to be multi-layered. I think we're going to try to do some things whole class, so that kids that are uncomfortable maybe can go with their friends to do it.
Sure.
I think we're going to try to push all staff, not just at the high school, but all staff, to think about how can we incorporate service learning. We have a lot of teachers that already are doing it. How can we publicize and talk more about those and get people understanding what that looks like instructionally and how that could benefit kids? And then I think we're going to have a co-curricular opportunity that is going to be, I think through Interact or Rotary, that is going to be very community service. That's going to be their thing. I remember being in Key Club in high school. Like, that was our thing. It was community service. So I think we're going to provide, and I think this committee will talk about, what does this all look like? How can we package this so that everybody understands that throughout the course of their 4 years at Ellsworth High School, this is how we create a well-rounded citizen who has multiple opportunities to give back to the community. Because I do think the administrators, the guidance counselors, and the policy committee, and the full board all want that for all of our kids. I think it literally really came down to it being a requirement for graduation.
Yeah, I feel like understanding completely what you're saying, and that was our big thing, was we want the community service to be there. We don't want anyone to have the anxiety and stress of, I'm getting ready to graduate and I have all these things to deal with, but I also have this community service and I'm too shy to go do it, or I don't have the ability to get to where I need to go. So I think kind of as a committee, we talked about, whether we reach out to the community and say, where can we help you? And then we can kind of figure that out, but just not make it that requirement to actually graduate. That, still bring it all in, bring everyone together, get the kids involved. But that was, I think, how I felt about it, so. And I know it's uncomfortable, I mean, you know, but it's.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
No, and for sure, and like, and that's definitely like, I mean, I buy into the making it a requirement, but then my like hesitation is that we then as adults one more time are going to make the time to come up with these things to then take these kids, because I mean, I know how the schedule works, you know, with our school day and our time off and our, you know, extra things like that, that like, is there actually that time there to do it that doesn't interfere with something else or.
Right. And I think that's part of what the work is. Because we really had split opinions from the staff at the high school. I mean, there were some who very strongly believed that they wanted to keep it. And then a little bit of a larger majority in their feedback said, we'd rather have it be something that makes more sense and doesn't hold kids back from marching. So I think that you will find that we will put some good stuff together. I really do. Because I do think no matter what, people believe in giving back to this community, and that it's the right thing to do and it creates a well-rounded citizen. And so my hope would be that the group that does this, we would report back to the board so that you could see what this looks like.
I think it needs to be said to the children also that like when they go out and do these things, they need to understand that the community members and or the service organizations or the businesses or whatnot that they are stepping up, those are actually the people that are helping you do everything that you ask them to do. When you ask them to donate to this and you ask them to give money for this and they ask you to buy, you know, you ask them to buy you this, they do. They do.
Yes,
and we all
100%.
know that those same businesses, those same people, those same organizations step up for us all the time. They do. Like, they're always hit. I always say when people are going out to get donations, you need to go to the next town because they send their kids too. We don't just need to go to every little business that's in Ellsworth. You need to step outside that box and go to that next town because those people help you too. So that's where, you know, I need these kids to realize that they need to give back to the citizens and to the businesses and to the organizations that so much give to us.
100%. Any other questions or feedback?
Personally, I find it, you know, a strong argument when you talk about students whose families are economically challenged or homeless, who have, for whom this is a particular challenge to meet a requirement when there's so many obstacles in front of them to be able to do that. I've also, I didn't hear it tonight, but I've heard you mention in previous discussions that colleges that look at a student's transcript and application and they list community service that was, and that the college admissions office knows that this was a requirement, it doesn't carry as much weight for that college because they know, they assume that the student did this volunteer work because it was a requirement. So if the students are not required for graduation to complete community service, but they do it anyway,
correct,
that carries more weight.
Correct.
So it can help those students as well.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I just wanted to point that out, so.
So I've been on the fence of this topic the entire time, but, so I think for me, it comes back to, so that kid that's a senior, he still needs 30 hours scrambling to get it done. He's not getting anything out of that community service. And I don't know, it's a tough one for me. It really is, but I can support the language.
Okay then, do we have a motion?
Yeah, I will make the recommended motion to approve the second read of the updated policy IKF graduation requirements as presented and recommended by the policy committee.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No, but reluctantly, I'm gonna say right now, like reluctantly, I'm due to the new verbiage, like I'm going to vote yes on this, but strongly, I feel like the schools need to like make sure that these students get these opportunities to do this because hesitantly, I'm saying this to the public that I'm gonna accept this language.
It's okay.
That's fair.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All in favor?
You did good.
Thank you, Bev, and thank you, the rest of you. All right, now we got to appoint a delegate to
Oh,
the
yes.
MSBA Delegate Assembly, which is coming up in the end of October.
I know, right?
So I just want to make sure that you topics in there for you all to read. So just make sure that you all kind of review that so that we can talk about that at the September meeting.
Yeah,
When are those dates again of that convention?
it's the last Thursday and Friday in October.
Is that Halloween?
No, it's the weekend
Week
before.
before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we could start by saying who is planning to attend the MSMA conference?
I'm going.
I'm going.
It's always fun going.
Who was it last year?
It wasn't me.
Wasn't it Beth?
It was Beth.
Wasn't me.
It was
Okay.
Beth last
Yeah.
year.
Okay,
Okay.
so.
You can nominate her.
Is
when she's
anyone,
not here.
Let's do that.
now let me ask, now that you know who's going, let me ask, who has never been there?
I know what you're getting to. And very reluctantly, again, I will do this, but
No.
The one who hasn't done it, not the newest one.
yeah. Okay, I mean,
I
the
think
reason
that's
that I'm reluctant about this is it really doesn't seem fun, and that like it seems like a complicated like thing to do.
It's not bad.
I would like
It's
this to
not.
be
It
fun.
doesn't go
Okay,
all
this
day.
is so not. It's right. It's all day long. Yeah, literally
No,
all day long, and
it's
the Saturday.
not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be, but it's all day long. You know it is too, because I was your runner-up last time you did it, and it takes all day. So, but I'll do it. I'm throwing myself in the ring,
Okay, well, we're gonna have an alternate too, so.
just in case it takes all day and I pass out. Like, got it. No, it's fine. I'll do it. I'll appoint myself.
Well, I think we have to
Make
make
a
a
vote.
motion.
Somebody needs to make a
and
motion.
nominate you.
But I know where you're
Vote
getting
on
at. So I'll do
Are you
it.
ready for that, or do you want to get a runner-up, an
No.
alternate?
Doesn't matter.
Figure it out first. Do you want to be the alternate, Jamie?
All right,
I mean,
I move
no
to
idea what it
appoint,
is.
No, I didn't either. That's fine.
I move to
don't know what I'm
appoint
doing
Bev
right now.
as delegate to the MSBA Delegate Assembly.
You're so welcome.
I will second that.
Is there any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Thank you, Bev.
Yes.
Sure thing.
Now we need an alternate.
I would like to appoint Jamie as alternate to the MSBA Delegate Assembly.
Is there a second?
Sure, I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, great. I feel like it's in good hands.
Do we?
better be
Because I really
there.
don't even know.
You will learn a lot.
I bet we
It's-
will.
It will be good.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh.
All right, next up is discussion and consideration
Don't miss it,
for
don't be safe,
safe
though.
in-person instruction and continuity of services plan.
I can't believe we still have to do this, but we still have to
Yeah,
do
what is
this.
this?
So we had linked, you've done this for the last several years. We still have to post and communicate to the public how we handle COVID. And so that is a requirement of the federal government still for us to receive grants and federal funds. So we did link that to the packet. There's no changes from last year. It's exactly the same. If you have a fever, stay home, basically.
Want a motion?
Yes, please.
I make a motion to approve the 2025-2026 Safe in-Person Instruction and Continuity of Services Plan as presented.
Second.
All those in favor? I skipped the discussion part. I didn't think it was necessary.
I think they were done with it.
Yeah. All right, next is the student handbook.
So I printed them in case anybody wants. No, I'm just. So this is always a tricky one because things are still changing. So they were in draft form when you saw them, and we have continued to make changes to them. But the intent of approving it in August is that you at least see the first draft. Typically, what changes is if we find errors in dates so that we don't overlap in dates, changes in any policies that you make throughout the course of the year, these handbooks will get updated with policy updates. These will get posted to the web when school starts, and then any policy changes that happen, those policies get taken out of the handbooks and the new ones get put in. So that's why it's constantly in a draft form, but it is up for your approval tonight.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the 2025-2026 staff and student handbooks as presented.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Next, appointment of school health advisor.
So last year or 2 years ago, we always have a school health advisor that if there's an outbreak of something or a pandemic, if our school nurses need help with anything, we have a person that is appointed as our school health advisor. We have to do this for the state, and prior to, it was Shannon Curtis, who had been at the Bucksport Regional Health Center at the high school. With her leaving, we would like to name Ann Gaspar, who is her replacement there, as our school health advisor for the district.
I make a motion to acknowledge Bucksport Regional Health Center's appointment of Ian Gaspar as school health advisor as outlined in the collaboration between Ellsworth School Department and Bucksport Regional Health Center as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, calendar announcements. Our curriculum instruction and assessment meeting will be held Monday, August 18th, 2025, at 4:30 p.m. at our district office at 11 Avery Lane. Policy meeting Monday, August 25th at 4:15 p.m. at Avery Lane. School board workshop Tuesday, August 26th. That's the fourth Tuesday of this month. 6 p.m. right here in City Hall Council Chambers. And facilities and finance meeting Monday, September 8th. Well, these are two committees, facilities, and then there's also finance. 9 o'clock for facilities and 10 a.m. for finance at Avery Lane. And school board meeting, the next one is Tuesday, September 9th, right here in City Hall Council Chambers at 6 p.m. And then finally, personnel meeting will be held Friday, September 12th at 9 a.m. at Central Office at 11 Avery Lane. And with that, we come up to adjournment. Need a motion?
Having no further business, I make a motion to adjourn the board thing.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Should we bring birthday cake to our next meeting?
I know, right? I was like, really?